Hello everyone, welcome back to Below Par with myself, Joe Lovery. So in today's video then, we're going to be chatting about the backswing and how rotation in the backswing is going to help you stop that over the top move and allow you to hit the ball straighter. If it's your first time on the channel or the first video that you've seen that we've released, please consider hitting that subscribe button for weekly coaching content. So then, rotation on the backswing. How could it help your downswing? What do I see? What's the fault we see day to day? Now, when the club is at the top of the backswing, I'm seeing people not rotate and they're lifting the arms slightly. Now you can see at this point, my hands, reference-wise, are probably in the middle of my foot in line with my laces. Now what happens from here is on the way down, on the downswing, when people then start to turn, you can see how it throws the club out in front of me. So no matter what I do from here, even if I try and pull the arms down, the club is still going to cut across the golf ball from this position. So how do we then fix that? Now what we want to do is we want to encourage a bigger turn with the hips and the shoulders to help us get what we call more depth at the top of the backswing, rather than the hands being up almost above my head. And here, which again, when I turn now, the club gets thrown in front of me. We're going to try and feel like the club is more in line, or hands are more in line with my right heel. What that's going to do from there, if I rotate nicely into the right heel, it now allows me to rotate on the way down, which is going to keep me more on plane, or even give me a chance potentially to hit from the inside. So I'm going to rotate, nice big rotation with the shoulders, big rotation with the hips, and you can see now that puts the hands in line with the heel, which from there now I can rotate further on the way down. It gives me a chance to be able to rotate. So a great drill for this, one I really like. If you take a setup position, what you're going to do now is you're going to hinge the club up onto your right shoulder. You're then going to turn as far as you can in the backswing. So you see my chest and hips are pointing towards the camera. And from there now I'm going to push my hands up and away. And you can see now at this point, my hand should be over my right heel. They're not going to be here in front of my head. So what we can do then from here is we think about the golf swing as symmetrical. So for me to turn on, or to be able to turn on the downswing to get power, I have to have turned on the backswing to allow for the turn on the downswing. But if I just lift my arms on the backswing, as soon as I turn on the way through, we're no longer symmetrical, and that then causes that move, as I say, to come over the top. So let's try and hit a few shots then where we're feeling that extra turn. So I'm going to take my setup. From here now, I'm going to do what I call a freezer drill. So I'm going to turn to the top of the backswing, feeling like I've made a really nice big turn. I'm going to check my hands are over my right heel. And let's say from here now, it gives me a chance to come more from the inside when hitting the shot on the way through. And you can see there that by just allowing myself to turn deeper on the backswing, get the club more behind me, it gives me more chance then to bring the club back in, as say from inside or even on plane, back in line with the body, rather than it already being in line with the body and now out in front. So what are we saying then? We are saying that the more the club gets behind this center line, the more the club gets here, the more I'm able to naturally bring the club more in front of me without it then being over the top. So most people that have an over the top move, when the club's at the top of the backswing, it never gets behind their body. So the moment now I turn, the club's in front, where actually if I try and work nice and deep here behind that stick, well look now how from that, to come over the top, I would really have to throw the golf club. If I just turn, the club now is brought back into its spot on position. So I'm going to get one more shot with that there. And you'll see how I'm trying to get the club at waist height to now get some depth here at the top rather than just being here. So I'm really going to focus on getting the club to feel like it gets behind that center line. And you can see how that turn allows me then to turn on the way through and swing down the target line rather than cutting across the golf ball. So I hope then, for those of you that really struggle with the backswing and certainly an over the top move, I really hope this helps you put the club in a better position so that from there you can start your downswing in a more efficient and consistent way without then throwing the club over the top. So say getting that club deeper is just going to mean now that you can work the club a little bit more from the inside, hopefully then allowing you maybe to even hit a draw or at least a straighter shot than one where you're cutting across it. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching, and look forward to seeing you all very soon.